We can, beat 2 championship contending teams and go right down to the end.
Now back to the moment of hand and this race. 364 days ago, you won this race, and talk to me right here. How many of those 364 days over the past year have you thought about repeating at the Knoxville Nationals?
Every one of them. Every one of them. At least 15,000 times a day. This is the holy grail in sprint car racing, and nobody wants to come out of here a loser. So we're here again tonight. We've got ourselves in an awesome situation. We're going to see if we can do it again.
Well, he's a great racer in a great race car on a great night. Dony Shatz will go back upstairs.
Brad, your thoughts on Tony Stewart adding a second car now to his program?
Well, he's very passionate about racing, and sprint car racing is part of all of his franchise of race cars, and it's going to be tough. It's going to really make people step it up, but I guess that makes it official. It's a Tony Stewart front row for the Nationals tonight, but it's definitely going to bring a lot of attention to sprint car racing.
How much pressure do you think it's going to add to the rest of the team owners down there?
Well, there are maybe some that concerned that, trying to keep up with these guys. I mean, Dony Shatz has had a phenomenal couple years, and add that back with Paul McMahon. And as Dony just said, when those two teams combine that knowledge, they're going to be very tough.
And Donnie's been very involved with a family-run operation. He said, me and my family have done basically everything we can do in sprint car racing. We've won the World of Ally Championship. We've won the Knoxville Nationals. Time now to try something a little bit different, and that's what he's going to do. Stay with us. We're coming right back to the Marion County Fairgrounds. That's the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum. Off of turn number 2, you see inside the B main hot laps getting ready to go, and our own Brad Doty, a member of that famed hall. Congratulations, Brad, on a wonderful career. Welcome back to Knoxville, Iowa. The B main hot laps underway here at the Marion County Fairgrounds. Now, if you've never been to a sprint car race, hot laps is basically a practice session or a warm-up session, Brad. This is not a race. Well, what are these drivers trying to accomplish here?
That's what it's a practice session. They're out there some of them are just getting the butterflies out of their stomach, just to climb in that race car and make some hot laps or some fast laps. But they're really got to focus. You can see the different grooves in the racetrack, the shiny part, the dark brown. So they're moving all over that racetrack, trying to figure out what that car needs to go faster. They'll go back and tell their crew chiefs and go to work on those race cars.
The yellow light is out. There's Brian Brown in the number 21, Shane Stewart in the Harley-Davidson back number 1. Those drivers just completing their B main hot laps. Now, they're hoping they're going to be at least a part of those 4 drivers going out of the B and into the A a little bit later on. And that's the challenge here. Tony Bachhoven just getting into that A.
That's right, and Jason Johnson, who I'm with now, almost didn't make it tonight. In this afternoon's C Scramble hot laps, the driveline came apart and got into your leg, Jason. Tell us about that. That could have ended your Knoxville Nationals.
It really have. Anytime you got a driveline come apart, it's not a good situation. And I'll tell you what, the Shop Motorsports guys did an excellent job working on this Eagle car. And we went down turn 1 there in hot laps, and it broke the driveline. Actually, my leg went real numb down going down the backstretch, and I thought my leg was broke. But unfortunately, it tore up the driveline, as well as getting a couple of the exhaust valves down in this Don Ott lease motor. And we really got to thank Trone Outdoor Advertising for putting another bullet in it for us tonight to get back in the C main.
Is your leg good enough to make it into the feature tonight?
Yeah, it's on the left foot. That's the brake foot, so we're not too concerned about that. But we're going to give it our best shot. The team did an excellent job putting the Shop Motorsports car back together, and we're looking forward to coming through the alphabet.
Well, Ralph and Brad, what I'm talking about is inside of the cars. Brad, you well know it's very tight inside of there. The drive line runs right between the driver's legs, and as you see down in here by the gas pedal and the brake pedal, this collar, which now has a safety collar around it, that wasn't there today. When that broke, this drive line went sideways in the car and could have definitely broke his ankle. But tonight, they have a safety apparatus around the yoke in the drive shaft, and he feels like the car is much safer for him tonight.
Brad, a lot of race fans who maybe have not been to a sprint car race before would say, well, how can he get through the floor of the car? Well, there's not really a floor in a sprint car.
They sit upright in these sprint cars, and that tube that you see there, the driveline goes right between the driver's feet. Terry McCarl suffered a severe break a year or so ago when his driveline broke. They've come up with some safety wrappings that go around those, and unfortunately, some guys don't run them until a situation like this, and Jason Johnson will probably always have a safety net in his, so to speak.
There you see some of the cars lined up in the pit area in the infield here at the Marion County Fairgrounds. Getting ready. C-Main getting set to get underway here live on speed as we continue to work our way towards a super clean Knoxville Nationals. FoxSports.com and SpeedTV.com form the most powerful online team in NASCAR. For breaking news, in-depth analysis, detailed driver stats, and more, log on to SpeedTV.com now. Welcome back to Knoxville, Iowa. Good look at the front stretch grandstands packed with racing fans. And you might hear some unique audio tonight. That's because we're not only live to you watching at home on Speed, but we're also live to the fairgrounds here at Knoxville. They hear everything we're saying as we're broadcasting the races to you here tonight. Getting ready for the C-Main. Let's show you our starting grid for the C-Main. Seth Rahmer and Mark Dobmeyer are going to start on the front row here tonight. Dean Jacobs and Lance Deweese, a couple of veterans, going to make up row number 2, Brad.
Last year, Lance Deweese out front on his preliminary, blew a tire and got into the wall, and Dean Jacobs won the World Challenge, $10,000 last night.
Jack the Wild Child Hodenshield is going to start a little bit deeper in the field. Now, Ryan Farrell and Travis Riley just transferred earlier before we went on to the air out of the D main into the C, so they're already trying to work their way up through the alphabet. Here's our 4-1-1 for tonight's Knoxville Nationals C main event. It's 15 laps. We have 22 cars, and again, 2 cars will transfer out of here, the top 2, first and second place, to tonight's B main. Here's Dave Argabright.
Brad, Ralph, one of the big surprises is Jack Hodenshield, who starts 14th, has been running pretty well this year. He's got a long way to go for Brad Doty's old buddy.
Well, it doesn't take much of a hiccup the way this format is. We talked about the pressure that these drivers have on. The 2 laps of qualifying is so important in this event. Then again, every time you strap in the race car, they had a little trouble. The car was too tight on their qualifying night. Find themselves mired back here in the C main, as do a lot of these guys. Obviously have a long way to go.
Now we're set to go green next time by, and this field is now under the control of Doug Clark, the flag man here at Knoxville Raceway, and you don't want to test him.
No, because you jump the start or get out of line or do something, he's not afraid to put, I don't care if you're a big star or not, he'll put you to the tail.
Idling down the backstretch. Both grooves look pretty good so far tonight.
Racetrack's in good shape.
Rahmer and Dobmeyer bring the field to the green here in Knoxville. Lance Deweese jumps out to the early in the 25 car, slots right up into second place. Picks up a lot of ground as Dobmeyer moves to the early lead, and Rahmer with a terrible start.
Yeah, we saw at the start route, he got really loose. I don't know if he got down in the wet stuff on the bottom of the racetrack, but the car jumped sideways on him and lost a lot of positions.
And remember, the top 2 cars transfer straight to the A main, so Mark Dobmeyer and Lance Deweese sitting right where they want to be right now. Justin Henderson in the D1, 1 spot out of it. There you see the Maxim machine, the number 25, or 35, I should say, of Jack Hodenshield with the big blue wing, trying to work his way up through the field, and he's got a long way to go. He sits in 9th right now.
Well, these guys, any of these guys in the back, as he does get around there, but they're going to need cautions. The cars are getting strung out, so they need caution flags to keep them bunched back up where they have a chance to get up to these cars up front.
Battle for 7 continuing here, as we watch the field working their way back through 1 and 2. Jason Johnson in the white 41.
We heard the interview today. The driveline, that's the car the driveline broke. Got a very, very sore left foot.
He's right behind the blue 11B of Brock Mays. Mays goes up top. Johnson around the bottom, and he'll pick up the position. Now he goes to work on the 13 of Rahmer. 10 laps left to go. Red flag is out. 1 car flipping wildly over in turns 1 and 2, and I believe that's Hodenshield. No, it's not. There's Jack right there. Jack just rolls into the scene.
Boy, the car is so torn up, we can't even get a number on it. Oh, Mark Dobmeyer, the leader. If that's Mark, he was leading the race.
I believe that is Dobmeyer's car, Brad. No indication of what went wrong or how he ended up over there upside down in turns 1 and 2.